Southern Man. This is a song I kind of learned to cut my teeth lead playing wise on. I love this tune. Neil Young songs are just great for working on this kind of stuff. So I want to take a quick look today at just a fun jammin' tune, learning the chords to Southern Man, and then we'll have kind of a jam along section at the end where you can just practice playing leads to our song here in the key of D minor, which means you're going to be playing a pentatonic scale up at the 10th fret, which would put it in D. You're going to be using the pentatonic minor scale on D to jam along with me with Southern Man. So we're going to take a look at the chords. We need some D minors, B flats, so we do need some bar chords and a little bit of fancy strumming. But that's what I want to take a look at today is Southern Man, so let's get into it. Chords in Southern Man. We're going to play D minor, B flat, F major 7, G's, and G minors or G minor 7s. And there's a few different ways of playing each one, but let's just talk about some of the standard ways of fingering these chords. D minor played with your first finger on the first fret of the first string, your second finger on the second fret of the third string, and your third finger here, although I frequently and usually prefer to use my fourth finger for that note and not my third. It depends on whether I'm more likely to use my third finger for something happening here, like I might in Layla, or whether I'm more likely to use my fourth finger for something going on up here like I might in Southern Man. So the D minor can be played here. Now the D minor could also be played as a full bar chord. This would be up at the 5th fret in the A minor shapes. So the whole thing can be played using full bars as well. Going from D minor to B flat at the 6th fret in an E shape to G minor 7 or G minor at the 3rd in the shape of an E minor. And especially when I'm playing the jamming part of the song, it's more likely I'm going to do some of that. Playing the D minor here, the B flat here, the G minor here, and at the end I might add an A on here, making a G minor 9. In the beginning, I could be playing the D minor here, the B flat in an A shape at the 1st fret, and the G minor still, or the G minor 7 like this. It's better to use G minor 7 all the time, and then you're available to add the high A on, making it a G minor 9. Now, the other chords that happen during the singing part of the song, we have D minor. Next one is an F major 7 with C in the bass. That's played with an open E, first finger on the C, 2nd string, 1st fret, A on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, F and C at the 3rd fret of the 4th and 5th strings. When you strum this chord, you need to make sure that you don't play the 6th string. This note is not part of this chord. The bass note needs to be the C that we'd have there. So the chord progression during the singing, we have D minor, F major 7 with C in the bass, B flat, and G. You could play it as a G like this. You could use G7, playing an F up here on the top. You could have played it as a barred G7 right here. So G or G7 sounds great right there if we're singing along. We have one more chord coming up later on, and it's A. For the A chord, first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd finger below it on the 4th string, and 3rd finger above it on the 2nd string. All 3 of these notes are crammed in tight at the 2nd fret. So that's all that's happening with the chords in Southern Man. The pentatonic scales, if you want to jam along, are going to be a little different story, and I've got those written out in the tablature. So we'd play this song in the key of D minor, which means pentatonic pattern 6 in Neil's favorite terms, played at the 10th fret, way the heck up the neck here. So there we go. All your left hand has to do in Southern Man. So one of the ways of strumming Southern Man is you want a strong beat on 1. I'm playing the D minor chord here. Strong beat on 1 and a very light tap on the bass note area of whatever chord you're playing on beat 2. So you don't want to hear this. Very strong on 1, weak on 2. And then 8th notes on 3 and 4. Down, tap, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Now, when it gets to the B flat, most of the time there's a little bit of syncopation here where 2 strong beats on 1 and 2, 1, 2, missing beat 3, and on beat 4 getting to the G minor 7 chord. And then missing beat 1 of the G minor, and then 3 and, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and. Now it's beat 3 and of the G minor chord where you add that high A in order to get the add 9 thing. I mean the G minor 9 chord. So that's the rhythm to the lead. And now again, the lead, the best way to play your lead here would be come to the 10th fret and start running through a G pentatonic minor scale, which would be the 10th to the 13th, 10th to 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 13, 10 to 13. That would be the pattern notes you'd use for playing your lead while somebody else, maybe me, is playing the rhythm to the D minor, B flat, G minor part. Everything else in Southern Man is just standard strumming. Hold the pick loosely, make sure when you strum down you've got the pick angled up. When you strum up, make sure you've got it angled down so that you're not forcing it into the strings like and making it sound bad. So pretty simple right hand technique in Southern Man, but again most of this lesson is kind of designed for you to just jam along and play your lead. So let's get into that part. So what I want to try right now with Southern Man is we're going to run through it. I'm just going to keep strumming through the chords for 3 or 4 minutes while you can practice playing your lead using the D pentatonic minor scale any place you want on the neck. Again, in the music I've got them all written out. 5 different places you can play those pentatonic patterns, and 5 different patterns, numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and pattern 6 would be up at the 10th fret if that's where you want to play most of your lead. So we'll take it through the D minor G stuff in the beginning and we'll pretend as if we're singing and stuff. I don't know what'll happen here. I got my metronome set at 140. Here we go from the top. 2, 3, 4. Singing would be right here, D minor, F major 7, B flat, G7, we'll use a G7 there, F major 7, B flat, G7, I like G better next time, D minor stuff. Singing would pick up here, D minor, B flat, here come our A's, 8 measures. go back to a vocal part. Here comes our F major 7, B flat, G, lines with some hot licks in them. Let's hear them. Back to vocals, cut back on the guitar. Comes our A chord for 8 measures, and this will take it out from there. Let's just end here on D minor. Okay, enough ticking. So use that as your rhythm section. Practice playing, making up leads in the key of D minor, up here in pattern 6, here in pattern 5, here in pattern 3, down here in pattern 2. Anyway, your pentatonic patterns cover the whole neck. We're in the key of D minor right there. Pattern 6 goes on D. Hopefully you can use that as a little background for you to practice jamming with.